Hi everyone, let's go over my bullish and bearish Elliott Wave scenarios on Bitcoin, starting on the high time frame with these three volume profiles, however, to get a bit of an area of the value area lows and the value area highs. You can see that the value area lows acted as support and eventually important resistance till the moment price managed to close a weekly candle inside this value area, increasing the probabilities to move to the point of control, and passing this increases the probabilities to move to the value area high. And that is where we are at the moment, because you can see the three value area highs on the chart and the white box around it to create a bit of an area, and we touched that white box. Now it is also in confluence with the golden pocket taken from the all-time high to the low that we have here, which of course is interesting confluence, adding to the resistance in this particular area. And on the logarithmic chart, you can see that the 786 is also inside this area taken from the high to the low. That means this white box between 49k and 50.5k is important resistance for price. Now, when we think about both bullish and bearish scenarios, I think it is incredibly unlikely for price to just push through this area without any form of resistance, or at least a bit of a range. We ranged here in 2021 for a long period of time, and I don't expect this to happen, but instead throughout 2024 see price ranging inside this area here, which is then basically between 30k and, well, let's say 55k. If we then zoom into the lower time frames and we go to the 1 hour chart here, then the bullish scenario for more upside is a wave 1, 2, looking for a wave 3, eventually 4 and 5. This wave 2, however, starts to be very, very long in time. These vertical lines are fib times taken from the low to the high of 1 to compare this move to the upside in time with this corrective structure in wave 2. Preferably, a wave 2 does not make it to the 4 and the 5 fib time to end the corrective structure. Now, currently one could have a potential running flat here, which means the low is in after the 4. But if price is going to make another local low, it's likely going to be at the 5 or after the 5 fib time, which is not what we like to see for a wave 2 and does lower the probability. The invalidation for this scenario is price moving below this low over here, and currently the potential wave 3 targets are between the two 1.618s, which is between 51k and 52.2k. Now, because this wave 2 is very, very long in time, it does increase the probabilities for a wave B, because a wave B can be very, very long compared to its wave A. So that then leads us to this scenario, because if we have to think about a wave B, we immediately think about a three-wave structure in an ABC, which means to end a very big impulse, you immediately have to think about a ending diagonal, where then we have an ABC in a wave 1, and then all of the other structures also have to be zigzag moves to the upside to eventually finish with a wave 5 and look for a move down. This was posted this morning by GZ in Discord. He posted this chart over here. He said it's just an idea, but I think it is a very, very nice idea, where he ended the correction here, the wave 4, for then an ABC up in 1, ABC, 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 to eventually finish wave 5 and then look for that bigger correction to the downside. Now, the bearish scenario is this ending expanding a diagonal, but an expanding diagonal in general on all of the time frames, but especially the higher ones, are very, very rare. In this scenario, you then have wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, the targets are nicely respected. 886, 886, that's common for a 2 and a 4 and an expanding diagonal. The 1.618, that's also what you like to see. And for a wave 5, this is your target area. So it does fit with the pulls and the extensions that we have from a Fibonacci perspective. It's just that the expanding diagonal as a whole is a very rare structure and therefore is never preferred unless all of the other scenarios fail. Now then, if we look at a couple of ranges, then you can see on the 4 hour here, the medium time frame range, which was very, very nicely respected for a very long period of time. We broke out of this range to the upside and have now retested this white box, the important support resistance area of this range, sitting between 44k and 44.4k. Preferably, of course, we're not losing this particular box, and for the bullish scenarios, we are not losing this low over here, right? If we then zoom in to that more local range here, then you can see we have the same support resistance area. Resistance, 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 eventually turning into support, preferably not losing this box here, which is the same area, 44.1 to 44.4K. And then the local range over here, that is where we are at the moment, has important resistance above price, this wide support resistance area, 47K to 47.4K. The support is the same, that is where the low is made. And I also put this volume profile on the chart to observe what price does in relation to the volume over here. Of course, it's going to be weekend soon as well, and the weekend tends to range, so I can imagine that if price is going to close today inside this area, we're going to be stuck here for a couple of days. If we then look at these CVD divergences, then locally we have both bullish and bearish CVD divergences, so these counter each other and we just wait patiently to see what price gives us. Then from this low we do still have bullish CVD divergences here, where if I zoom out you can see we have a higher low in price, a lower low on the blue CVD, which is a bullish CVD divergence on the blue line, not on the yellow line. But the bullish CVD divergence we had here on yellow, higher low in price, lower low on the CVD, already played out, and currently yellow is neutralized on this time frame over here. So if you then look at the probabilities of the different scenarios, then on the medium time frame, because of the expanding diagonal as well for a wave 5, which is incredibly rare and never carries the highest probabilities unless all the other stuff fails, we are still looking for higher prices on the medium time frame on Bitcoin. Now locally over here, we are then looking for either that impulsive structure or the ABC structure at the moment, preferably not losing this low over here for bullish continuation. I hope that this video was helpful or valuable to you. Please check out the most recent educational video I've made about the best trading indicator you can use in my opinion, which is the CVD. And for now, thanks for watching and subscribing, and I'd like to see you at the next one. Bye bye.